Welcome to my channel. So today I'm super excited. I have my co-host Halima. We're talking about King of Boys, the return of the king. So we saw this mini series, and first of all, before we get into details, right, let's talk about our top acts in the movie. So who are your top 3 acts in the movie?
I have to choose 3.
Yes.
Okay. Aditya.
Okay.
Any day, anytime.
Okay.
That guy was just, oh my god. And then Alada Salami. Yes, for her wardrobe. I would, oh my god, yes. So who would go for my
third?
Now, that's a good question because I don't know really. I think I'll go with a top 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have a top 3. For me, of course, Alaja Salami. Sola did an amazing job. Like from part 1 to this part 2, I felt like she did an amazing job. And of course, Tony Tones as young Iola. Like I love Tony Tones. So yeah, she as young Iola is, amazing for me. And Adi Tiger, hello. Hello, that guy is hot. He delivered his character and everything. Now let's talk about your least favorite characters.
My least favorite character would be Charlie Boy.
Odudu Bariba.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's the name he had in the movie. Odudu Bariba.
Yeah.
Like every time I saw him come up, I'm always trying to be like, okay,
why is this one here? What's the point?
Yeah, how he came to be, what he came. There's so many questions in the whole film set that needs to be answered.
For me, my least 3 are Mr. Fashina. I don't know, the PR.
Yeah, he will be my number 2.
Yeah,
I feel like
I don't get it.
The character should have commanded.
And Odudu Bariba. And of course, what's they call his name?
That guy.
That Obanjo, the reporter guy. Like I didn't get the whole.
The reporter guy. He was chasing something that I don't know what he was chasing.
Exactly. So it really didn't make sense. So now let's dissect the character. Let's start with Alaja Salami, since she's the star of the occasion.
Okay.
What's your take on? You've seen part 1. Now this is part 2. So let's hear what's your take on her performance here.
Her take. I was shocked to the end. That 7.
Episode 7.
Oh God, that was the whole film.
Yeah, I accept that because episode 7 for me was the whole movie. The action, the everything. Episode 7 was the whole movie.
From episode 1 to 6, one thing I appreciated was the proverbs.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from oh God. Those proverbs, they inspired my muscles.
Truth is, I expected more because if you've seen part 1, you see that you get to, relate or connect Alaja Salami to this powerful person
from her character in part 1. I expected that
she was going to come back with a serious banger.
I expected that the way she would have shook that table.
I felt like she should have still been able to control that table from outside the country, because if you look at it, what they were saying in this part 2 was she was able to secure the seat for the president, even being abroad. Do you get what I'm saying? So she had been able to still control that table.
Which means she was in control of the table when she was abroad.
Yes.
So how is it that this same powerful woman, as she has been projected to be, came and was struggling to even secure herself a gubernatorial seat?
Said she gave
and she was even threatening the president that she would take his position from him.
Yeah.
How?
True. Like there are a lot of
questions that I would really
places that just didn't fit in.
Yes.
And for me, I think places that didn't fit in more was Odogumale's character.
It was so
in part 1, Odogumale was
so powerful.
He was powerful. Like he was so loyal to her. And then we come in part 2 and Odogumale is just all about
nobody.
I wouldn't say nobody. It was just about
partying
and
with women and
I get the Igbo concept you're trying to infuse with Odogumale, but I felt like it was just too unnecessary.
Okay. From the beginning, he had that
Yes,
whole
I
concept,
get
you
it, but it was
understand?
just
But
too much.
it wasn't like a matter of too much, really, for me. It was a matter of the relevance of his character was downplayed.
Yes.
That was the only problem I had. This
Yeah.
was a powerful man that had so much money, was living the life, he was living large and all of that.
And he was
So he wanted
loyal to
security.
Anaja before she left.
And he had this cheap bar that he was always at in the evening. That was what's the name of this guy that has one eye? Makaniki came to kill his people and him. Why downplay his character so much? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yes, I can say, okay, maybe you guys brought Odudu Bariba to come and
be the power.
Be the power because of he came with so much money and then he infused himself in that position. But you guys shouldn't. All those elders on the table had more say than Odogumale.
Yeah.
Odogumale was supposed to be the founders.
Odogumale was supposed to hold that table for Mama.
That's what I'm saying. They're supposed to be like the
country.
founders of that table.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be the king makers on that table. Why would you people make him look like a bloody nobody?
Another thing I didn't get was Makaniki succeeding her. Because
I don't know how that happened.
The end of part 1, she instructed Odogumale to actually kill Makaniki. So how is Makaniki her successor? I don't get that particular part. And also, I think what I didn't like is Makaniki's return, right? Makaniki was shot in part 1 and he was able to return in part 2. Why did Kemi not come back in part 2?
Well,
that's the truth. Because instead of giving her Mr. Fashina as PR or whatever he was, you should have put Kemi. Because I didn't get that role of Mr. Fashina. Like, are they trying to infuse joke in the movie? I don't get it.
It wasn't funny, so I don't see the joke there really. It wasn't funny. I just believe that for him being her campaign manager, he should have a lot of
that was
essence.
Kemi. That's what I'm saying.
You know?
That's why I thought Kemi would come back. Because Kemi had that aura of power. Like, she's working with in your last salami, for goodness sake. You should be power. But I didn't get Mr. Fashina's character at all. And trust me, one character that I thought was overhyped was Jumoke Randall. Because the truth is, that's the truth. Who is Jumoke Randall? Where did Jumoke Randall came from?
The wife of the governor.
Yeah, you don't get that. Where did she come from to want to come and contend with Inyola Salami? Like, I didn't get that part at all. Because the truth is, like Inyola Salami said to her, when I was in the street, you were busy being choice to, allergies and whatnot. And that's the truth. So where did you come? I don't even get that.
She's the wife of the sitting governor. So she's exercising her power. That's technically what she was doing at that time. Which is okay, it's understood. You want to retain power.
Yeah.
So you get a lot ahead of yourself.
But everything she did was unnecessary. She was overdoing it.
That was just it. The character was, overhyped.
Yes.
For no
it was
reason.
overhyped for no reason.
And then you look at the whole, Boxer died.
With no explanation. Like, we wanted to see
what happened.
Do you know what I think? I feel like they are building up for another season. Because there are a lot of loopholes.
Even that house girl.
Ending. Yeah.
What's her role there? She's always snooping around trying. Who is she working for?
Yeah.
The season ended. We didn't see
that. Top. Like, I feel there's going to be a part 2 because if you look at it,
it's going to be a part 2.
Makaniki's girl was pregnant at the end of the day, so that means it's the end of Makaniki, obviously, coming in part 2. But it still didn't make sense. I expected so much more. That's the honest truth. I expected so much more. So for me, I would say my highs in that movie was the wardrobe, especially with Alaja Salami's wardrobe. I must say, Jumoke Randall's wardrobe was awesome, but come on, Alaja Salami is one that I can rock.
Her wardrobe said power.
Yes, her wardrobe said power. And also, I enjoyed the relationship between her and Ade Tiger.
The loyalty from Ade Tiger
was top notch. You can't beat that. That's the
no way.
I love that a lot. And
that's something that I need.
Yeah. What else?
Who is my Ade Tiger here now? I need to find my Ade Tiger.
Yeah, you should. We all should get an Ade Tiger.
Yes, in your life you need an Ade Tiger.
What else? My lows for the movie is the dialogue. Unnecessarily long. It's like you turning the channel to where what's the name of this channel? WWE. And then you see 2 wrestlers, Randy Orton, John Cena, talking, and then someone just comes and hits John Cena from the back, and the fight is over. You're like, I've been here for this.
Yes.
Like, it was just unnecessary. That's the honest truth.
Yeah, the dialogue was
too long.
Very long. The dialogue was so much. Alaja Salami became a proverbist, if there's any such word, because of the proverbs that she released, as much as I actually sat with a notebook taking notes of those proverbs. But at the point, I was like, come on, let's get to the movie. So you watch through season 1 and from episode 1 to episode 5, and you're waiting for this powerful woman to take over her position. And then the woman leader, what's that her name? That one that walked out of the house. That was very unnecessary. That was very unnecessary for a person of her caliber.
I put you there. That's the honest truth.
Yes, I know that you're working with people in power, but you don't know what would happen next. You should be able to be at least a bit humble. But you don't tell me that now your daughter is in the is it UK or US? She said, and now you are moving with the moving train. Okay, and at the end of the day, you still came to my house after I won. No,
I felt like the movie was unnecessarily long. That's the honest
There was no
truth.
reason for episode
7 episodes was unnecessarily long, and then at the end of the day, the ending was even rushed. That's the truth. It was like legit rushed. So if I'm to rate the movie according to what I expected, I would give it a 7. Why am I giving it a 7? Because the wardrobe was mad. Like the wardrobe was mad. That's what I would give it a 7 for.
I would say that okay, they're trying to project the girl power thing. Yes, in season 1, the first
King of Boys. That was
it was well projected.
Yes.
Like the projection was mad. But then again, you bring this woman who spent 5 years in the abroad, was doing a lot of miraculous things from the abroad, making a president in the country from the abroad.
Yeah.
And then you come back to that same country where you made a president from the abroad, and you are struggling to get a gubernatorial seat. Come on, it should have been better.
Yeah, it should have been better, honestly. So I think I'm rating it, like I said earlier, at 7 because of the wardrobe. So what are you rating?
Tiger.
So anyway, that's our view on The King of Boys, Return of King. It's actually an overall nice movie, but it was unnecessarily long, unnecessary dialogue. You know, a lot of things just didn't make sense. But aside from that, I think it's an overall nice movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
If we're bringing a season 2 limited series again, please let's shorten the dialogue and more action.
Yes, more action. Because the truth is, I love part 1. I watched it more than once.
I love part 2, but I only watch
episode 7. Yeah, because that's the action.
I
think my favorite part for that whole series is the last part, as in where they had the confrontation with Odudu Bareba.
Yes.
You know, look, Adetiger kept us on the edge because you're like, he's going to betray her. No, he's not. He's going to betray her. No, he's not. He's going to betray her. No. So Adetiger did good. What? There should be an Emmy. I feel like between Adetiger, Alaja Salami and Young Yola, those people should be given an award because they did amazing. I love the ensyncing between
the character was
Young Yola and Alaja Salami at the end. You know, when they were giving those speech, I'm like, hey. So I feel like
there were some parts really where young Alaja Salami really did not need to appear.
Yeah, Young Yola.
Yeah, it really wasn't necessary in some places because she was too much in places where she wasn't even supposed to be.
Yeah.
Giving unnecessary advice, I'm sorry to say, because when you expect her to appear to give those advice, she wasn't appearing there.
Yeah.
But when she wasn't necessary, she was just there. So, but this episode 7, for me.
That's the movie. So yeah, there you have it. Our review once again, King of Boys, Return of the King. If you've not seen it, go see it and let us know if you share the same view as we do. It's a nice movie. We're not saying it's not a nice movie. It's a nice movie, but
needs a lot of.
The hype was just too much at the end of the day. Yeah. I expected more personally. I expected more because after watching part 1, you're like, part 2 should be hot, but then it was warm. So yeah,
part 2 was hot in the adverts, in the trailer.
Funny enough, somebody was asking on Twitter. He's like, "There's a part in the trailer that I didn't see in the movie." And I'm like, "Are you for real?"
When I saw Kiki's trailer, I was like, "Damn, that's going to be a movie to watch."
Yeah.
And then I waited for it. I was like, okay.
So yeah, there you have it, guys. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share. Also, keep your comment. We need to, share our views, opinions, and whatever. We need to know if you actually felt the same way. And if you actually feel different, please let us know also because we're learning every day. Yeah, opinions actually matter. So we want to know what your expectations were for the movie King of Boys, Return of the King. So yeah, until we come your way again, do not forget, like, subscribe, and share. I think it's about time we go find out Adi Tiger, don't you think?
I'm on the search already.
Adios.
Peace out.